This is our proposal for the Royal Victoria Pavilion. My name is Emma Irvin. We've developed this with our architect's Haptic, and we hope you like what you hear. The Ramsgate Royal Pavilion is on the beach in Ramsgate. Ramsgate is a beautiful seaside town with an incredible history, and a lot of it is kind of signified in this building, the pavilion. The location really is the kind of it's the gem of Ramsgate. It's been empty for 5 years, and I think a lot of people find it's kind of just so frustrating at this stage, and it's kind of been stigmatized with, well, kind of nobody wants it. But recently the leases agreed as extended from Thanet District Council, which led us to put this proposal together as a viable development opportunity for the area. The location, as I said, is really second to none. It looks out over the historic Ramsgate Sands, and it's also kind of part of quite an exciting part of Ramsgate, which is all really about being outside and the natural environment, the beach, the sea, the harbour. Really everything we have to offer is kind of condensed to this small part, and the rest of the town really struggles. And our belief is that if we can really create kind of thriving footfall in this area, it could be used as a catalyst to regenerate other parts of Ramsgate, such as the Royal Sands site, other parts of the town, the High Street, and kind of the wider Ramsgate area. So just moving on to the next slide, I can get that to work. So as I said, the location is really kind of second to none. This is the Ramsgate Sands. This is Albion House behind, where a boutique hotel is being built by us, starting very soon, we hope. We're literally weeks away from starting that project, and we're really looking at this as our second major project in Ramsgate. Our whole kind of concept is about the increased permeability of the pavilion. That what we want it to be is kind of a gateway to the beach, and we feel that it could really kind of pull a lot of footfall from the town and probably back up towards the town, but it just makes this whole area kind of come alive. And what we lack is amenity on the beach. So, if you're sitting on the beach, you really are very far away from, food, shelter, and kind of amenities, something for kids to do. So this is a way of basically creating a place where you can enjoy the beach and looking out to sea without, being out in the elements, because obviously we have lovely weather sometimes and not so good others. Our real inspiration for this project has been Borough Market. Borough Market is really responsible for regenerating Southwark, and certainly it has had an amazing impact on the immediate area around it. And the whole kind of beauty of Borough Market is it's lots of independent traders, and that creates a huge kind of excitement and buzz in the area, and people get to know each other, and there's neighbours next to each other, and it's just a really amazing place. I mean, now it's so busy you kind of queue to get into them, into the little food areas, but also there's lots of thriving restaurants around there, both in the market and outside, and it's had a real kind of ripple effect on the whole area. I love this quote because I feel like that sometimes when I go to places, sometimes in Ireland, where I remember having crab claws in Dinties in Union Hall, or I remember, a homemade lemonade that I had in the Cotswolds. So I think the connection with food really can't be underestimated, and it creates a really genuine connection with people when they recall going to places and talking about places. It gives people something to talk about. And the Good Shed in Canterbury, an enormous success. Again, based on a similar model, you've got lots of independent traders all renting a space under one roof. I think this slide really kind of sums it up for me, that really a food market is, and really any market is all about that interaction between people, that we like to know the people we buy things from. We like to talk to them about the products. We want to know where they came from, and provenance in food now is so significant. And you can see here these two people having a bit of banter. I mean, it's no surprise that the UK, a lot of our towns are being completely regenerated by markets, whether they're farmers markets or antiques markets or second-hand clothes markets. The whole idea of trading and getting back to that kind of face-to-face interaction is kind of bringing back our high streets and bringing back the relevance of our towns. So just really quickly, I want to run through some of these images because I think it's important to say that, you know, the pavilion has some incredible lost details. You know, these gorgeous oriel windows are now gone. The whole front here, the original entrance is kind of very poorly kind of, you know, almost vandalized really. But you know, things like these, the roof lights. This was the area, I think, behind the back of the stage. It's just a really beautifully designed building, and there's just lots of curious, interest things, and you know, a lot of its details reflect the fun, which has obviously been lost out of the building for quite a long time. This was the old theatre, and obviously all of these details, this is all gone. And you know, I've been in the building and shined a really strong torch up into the roof, and the roof is all there. You can see all the original joists and close boarding, and you know, it's kind of, you just feel like you're in this amazing place. But it's kind of, it needs a new lease of life, which has kind of new meaning. So our proposal was really to kind of bring back a lot of these details, but to not bring back these, to leave the interior quite pared back and quite a kind of you know, simple, so that new tenants can come in and create their own brands within the building. So this is our floor plan. Um, Basically, the main concept, as I mentioned earlier, is the idea of this market as a very busy, bustling space. And these little squares that you see here all represent stalls, food. They could be also, there could be kind of an antiques market, and it can also be used as community space. And I think that's the real benefit of a scheme like this, is that we now would have a community space where local groups can put on events without having to, you know, go through the long drawn out process that's currently there for putting on events. That this could be a space where, let's say, we've got 15 nights of the year where we have, you know, opera or music or theatre or, you know, kids stuff, you know, of different ages. And you know, let's kind of start talking about what we could do with this space rather than just, you know, giving up on it. Everything shaded in green is basically a usable space for you know, commercial space. So we've allowed for two very large restaurants, one here and one there. These would obviously be very different. One might be, you know, more like of a fish restaurant, the other one might be pizza, or you know, it depends what the local traders want. But we have had three really strong expressions of interest for the main spaces, and this we thought would be an amazing ice cream parlor. But you know, these, all these spaces here, the square footages are up here, and this is all on our Facebook page and our Twitter. There's a link. I think our second tweet has the link to this to download this. So if anybody's interested or knows anybody who would be interested in taking space, now really is the time to kind of speak to us, because everything is going to be basically pre-let to make the project viable and release the funds required. So just going back to the design, it's essentially like a marketplace with these kind of little streets that you can kind of peruse through the different stalls. And then these, everything shaded is kind of long term. So these stalls can be taken down really easily, but these are kind of fixed full-time stalls. And then upstairs, we thought about developing it as a kind of more drinks and evening, so that you can enjoy the terraces, the sun deck, so that maybe this would be like a real ale. Oops. This might be a real ale, and this might be fine wine, but these are kind of a bit unknown really. It all kind of depends on what people want. So I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you so much for watching this, and I really look forward to seeing your comments, or please do get in touch, direct messages through Twitter or Facebook. I'd love to talk to anyone who's interested in becoming a tenant or involved in any way in the project. And again, I just thank you for your time.